All right, here I am again in Los Angeles, and wait, yo, is that Hailey Picardi? Yo, excuse me, are you Hailey Picardi?
I am Hailey Picardi.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan.
Nice to meet you.
I'm doing a show right now. Is it okay if I interview you for like 10 minutes?
Sure.
All right, hop in.
Perfect.
All right, I think I got it. Nice to meet you. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm good, how are you?
You look really nice. Good,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my show Drive By, where I'll interview some of the coolest people in the world, and I'll ask them questions that they don't get all the time just to spice things up. Now, you don't need much of an intro, but who are we here with today?
Hailey Picardi.
You are a double-edged sword, you're the poison, the cure.
Which, by the way, she, for those of you guys who don't know, amazing, talented musician and artist, and she has the most beautiful voice. So if you guys haven't listened to her songs, which you have a new EP that's out.
I do. It's called Scars to Prove It, and it's out everywhere.
Listen to her EP. You guys are gonna love it. And aside from her music, she's the sweetest person on planet Earth. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, so I want to ask you about you, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like your background. Did you always know that you were super talented when it came to music, or was it something that just kind of came out of the blue and you're like, oh, I could sing?
I always knew from like literally my toddler years that I would do something in music. I always wanted to be a famous singer, and I didn't really believe in my voice until maybe high school or even my freshman year of college that I could be famous for the sake of my voice. I always thought it'd be for my writing or personality, and that was amazing to
Great
find
personality,
out.
by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we don't know. Okay, actually, I'm gonna say it. We did a little bit of a interview before this, but then the camera
It was like all in 2x speed. Yeah. Yeah. So like nothing.
Actually, it's her fault. No,
it's my fault.
It's definitely her fault.
Everything is my fault. Yeah. Honestly.
It was my fault. The one time I didn't check the camera, it was recording in 2x. So I have a little bit of a background on her, but this is your first time hearing it. So in high school is whenever you realized, like, hey, I could do this.
I might actually be a good singer. Yeah.
When did you start putting your music out there so everyone could hear it?
I didn't actually release my first song until December of 2025. So only less than a year ago.
Your first song was
Car Crash.
No way.
That's my very first song, yeah. I had written songs before, and I had tried recording them with friends that were producers, but I had never really actually released anything until 2025.
That's crazy.
I know.
So how's life then? Is it just kind of like, are your friends freaking out that you're doing what you're doing, and they're like, oh my gosh?
Some of them are, I mean, they're all so supportive and excited, but they all knew this is what I wanted to do, so it isn't like a surprise. It was just a matter of when, and they're literally the best people in the world, my friends. But yeah, they're excited.
You're actually very popular on social media. Like, does it get overwhelming sometimes?
Overwhelming? No. I don't know what, if it's just because I'm equipped. Just
Great word, Hailey.
Hear me out. Equipped for this. I am I am equipped for this life. I'm equipped for this career, and I don't feel like it's overwhelming yet. And I definitely can't say it won't ever be, but at least it isn't yet, because hopefully it'll go a lot further. So
yeah, I think it will. Like,
Thank
you have just like more than just having a good voice. I think having a good voice is probably less than half of it. And then
I agree.
It's like who you are.
Work ethic.
Exactly.
Yeah. How much you want it, how much you believe in yourself. I would say 90% of this is how much I believed in myself. My family, relatives would ask me growing up, what do you want to be when you're older? Famous singer.
Really?
Laugh at me. Okay, what do you really want to be? And I'd be like, no, famous singer. Nobody ever killed that confidence in myself. I knew I was gonna do this. I knew this was gonna happen for me, and that's literally 90% of it. I never let a doubt creep in my mind of like, what if it doesn't happen? I've never actually wondered, wait, what if it doesn't work out? I've never had that. Always thought it's going to.
Aside from your music, are you a naturally confident girl?
I'd say so. I've built a lot of that through learning that not everybody will like you. In high school, I didn't understand why a lot of the girls I went to school with, me looking at the camera, a lot of the girls I went to school with, you know who you are, were bullies and really mean. And it wasn't until I learned about psychology and realized, wow, a person's behavior is very indicative of how they feel about themselves. And that's when I learned that I have no reason to take anything that anyone thinks of me to heart, especially if they don't know me, and rather just view it as a reflection of their mental state. So I learned through trial and error that the girls I tried being friends with that were unkind to me, I can't win everyone over. There are always going to be people that don't like me. I could be this person, I could be that person. People are always going to hate me, and that's what I realized is like, damn, I just got to be myself, and I got to love myself and be super confident in that person. And I think that's where a lot of that came from.
Well, who I'm gonna say, who are you? Like, what?
Who am I?
Am I not the best interviewer
No,
of all
that's
time?
great. Honestly, I like these questions. You are the greatest interviewer of all time. Who are you? I would say, and it's hard to talk about myself in this way because I'm a huge believer in like actions are truly what shows a person's character. So I could say all this about myself, but it wouldn't actually matter until someone would see it. But I'm a very kind and empathetic and caring person, and I really, really see in other people why they behave the way they behave, and I am the type of person that can't hate anyone. I can walk away from you and never talk to you again, but I don't hold any hatred for anybody on this earth because I think at the core of my heart is just a bunch of love and care for everyone. So I would say I'm an honest person, meaning I prefer honesty over niceness. I think the difference between nice and kind people is that nice people say what you want to hear and kind people say what you need to hear.
Damn, that's a bar.
It is a bar, and I would so much rather, I've had friends and they know who they are, and I love this so much because we're so close now because of it, where in the past, one of my friends had done something that had potentially contributed to the downfall of her relationship, but I really liked her and her boyfriend together, and I was like, hey, I really think that if you don't do this, you guys will have a much better relationship, and I think this is going to be what's best for you guys. And she didn't like hearing it. She didn't like it. She was upset, and I totally understand why, but she came around and was like, you were so right, and I'm so glad you were telling me the truth about that. And that's the friend that I always want to be.
Yeah, you're like a therapist.
No, but I mean, I definitely can be. That was my other route. It was either singer, actor, therapist.
Do you think you're just naturally good at giving people advice, or did you have to learn it through your own mistakes?
I think I've always been relatively intuitive, but I do think that what really helped me be able to be that person for people was experiencing so many different situations myself and learning how to navigate them myself and being very observant. I'm a very observant person, and I love figuring out why people do what they do, and I think with that type of...
What have you observed about me?
I've observed that you're a good listener. You are, and I think that makes sense because interviewer, but I've also observed that, like, your facial expressions, when I'll say something, that you have certain facial expressions that you'll make.
Now I'm thinking about it.
No. Don't be, it's all good. Don't be in any way, like, thinking about it or, like, conscious about it, because it's good. Like, you physically react to things that I say, and I think that's good. That's you're responsive. And I've noticed, like, I picked up on your humor a little bit through certain things that have happened. And that I think there's so much more to learn about you, so I can't say that I know everything, but that's what I've picked up. A lot more little things too, probably, but yeah.
Do you have like a support, like someone that you always rely on, where you're like, okay, if I ever need anything, this person will be there for me?
I would say God is number one. God is who I look to. I try to look to before anyone. And then I'd say my best friends are just always there for me. Always there for me. My parents, and my sister.
Oh, you have a sister? You have a sibling?
She's the best, yeah.
Is she older?
She's older. She's 23, so 3.5 years of a difference.
That's just like me and my brother. We're like 4 or 5 years, depending on the... You only have one sister?
Only one sibling.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, how old is he?
27.
Okay, he's older.
Yeah, he's 4 years older than me.
6, so you're a younger sibling. Wait, I'm really curious about what that means to you. Like, how do you feel like being a younger sibling impacted you?
Shoot, this is your interview now. That's crazy.
I'm just so curious because I'm a younger sibling, so I know how it impacted me. And I'm curious if you noticed about yourself what it did to you, if it did anything.
It definitely did, especially growing up.
Did.
because he was always the cool older brother, right? And
That's
even
where you
now,
learned
I
all your
still see
swag.
him.
That's why I know. That's where you learned. I bet that's where you like learned all of your swag from. Like you looked up
You're
to
saying I
him.
have swag?
Well, I mean, if you're a younger sibling, the only person you can look to, I think, is the older sibling to like pave
Facts.
the way for you. And then you think everything they do is just the coolest thing ever. And still, anything my sister says is cool to me.
Me
Literally
too.
everything and anything she says, I'm like, you're right.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like they just have like some weird wisdom thing where you just
Weird wisdom.
you just trust it.
You
But
just trust it. Yeah.
growing up, like he was always the cooler older brother, and there were times, I kid you not, Hailey, we didn't talk for 6 months one time because I ate the last Krispy Kreme donut. We didn't talk for 6 months.
There's no way. This is literally like my best friend and her brother. Bro, explain that story.
We
Explain
lived. Okay, there's not much of a story, which
We
you're
didn't
probably
talk
gonna
for
watch this.
6 months, bro.
His
I'm
fault.
dead.
His fault. I was.
You sure? Or like, will he say it's your fault?
Well, I did eat the donut, so like maybe you could say
Okay.
because I ate the donut, it
but
was my
like,
fault.
realistically, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying on the fact that there's more to it. It's not just your fault for eating the donut. But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we both had a shared responsibility in that whole
But
altercation.
it had to have not just been the donut. There had to have been built up pressure for you guys to not talk for 6 months. A donut? There's no way.
The donut was the start, and then after that we got. I know it's like it's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
I know. It was.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
It wasn't just the donut, because after that, then we got into like big argument, and then that argument was probably the reason.
Okay, so the donut started it. I like the summary of the story though.
Yeah.
We didn't talk for 6 months because of a donut. It was because of the donut. I bet it was the principal for him too. Like, okay, no, he was just pissed. He wanted his donut.
We were both being fat about it. It was just a single donut.
he just wanted his donut. Honestly, I get that because I think, especially like, did you know that he wouldn't want you to have eaten it, but you were just like too much of a
actually a good
donut
question.
fiend that day? You just couldn't help it,
I
or
couldn't help it.
you were
Like,
just you knew you were being selfish, but you had to do it. Every man's for himself type of vibe.
I wish I remember my my motive behind eating this last donut,
You
but
couldn't think straight. You couldn't think straight. All you remember is the donut.
all I remember was just seeing that perfect donut.
Yeah.
That was the last one. It was a big box too, so it was like a dozen, and there was only one left, so it made it even look even better.
He did have 11 though by himself, right?
I mean, I think I probably had some too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So it wasn't like his. It was both of your guys' donuts.
both of ours donuts, I guess.
Whoa! And you just ate the last one.
All right, now,
It's fair. It's fair.
But for
Yeah.
6 months, we literally would walk past each other and not say a single word over this Krispy Kreme donut. Like, we would walk past each other in the hallway, and then what had happened is he ended up getting a new car, and my dad was like, yo, go take him for a ride. And then it was just like this, except I was where you were. I was in the passenger seat. He was driving, and he was just like, we're silent, and then he was like, so we're good? And I was like, yeah, we're good.
That's
And then,
crazy.
yeah, it was,
It's crazy too because 6 months sounds like forever, but it's not that long.
that's right,
It's
yeah.
not that long. But
It depends what happens in the 6 months. Have you had
Yes.
like
6 month long acne? I had acne last year from the trauma because of the cortisol level spiking, and it was like, gosh, it was a lot longer than 6 months. But like that's something where that's not a long time to have it
Yeah.
because it like takes a long time for it to go away. But it's bad to have like to not talk to your sibling for 6 months. I'd say that's like. Yeah, that's a long time.
the cortisol from your relationship? That's what
Yeah, like what ended up happening to me, the betrayal trauma, I would say, is what you call it. CPTSD is the term. It's complex PTSD, which is usually from betrayal trauma, which is where you were living in a false reality for a long extended period of time. You thought someone was someone, and you find out that they weren't that person, meaning you were living in a literal reality that
you
didn't
reality
exist.
collapse? Did your reality collapse
Yes.
whenever you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this person died. Like I wrote a song about how I've like gone through the death of a loved one, and like it's about somebody who died in an ambiguous way. It's called an ambiguous loss, where either a person emotionally dies and they're physically alive, or actually no, that is what it is. There's no other way for that to
Wait,
happen.
did they like actually die or just?
They didn't actually physically die.
I see.
They didn't physically die, but I would argue that almost I would have rather had that happen, and not in a selfish way. I wouldn't want that to happen for the sake of them, but for the impacts that it would have left on me, I think it would have been a lot less traumatic if they had actually died than what had actually happened, because at least I would be able to say, okay, I'm having to grieve someone, but it's a lot more complex and traumatic when somebody dies when they're emotionally but they're still physically on earth. I think that's one of the worst types of trauma, I would say.
Are you okay talking about what happened?
Yeah, I mean, a person that I really, really, really trusted. Think about the person in your life that you trust with everything in you the most, the sweetest, the person who you genuinely think has no bad bone in their body, and they would never, ever do anything wrong. Wrong as in, like, really wrong. I found out that the person who I had been fully trusting and entirely thought that we were on the same page in every single way of my life, like the loyal person, he was like his thing was like loyalty. Like all his friends were like, bro, he's so loyal. Clearly should have learned from that when their friends are like backing him up that hard. But he was, I'm pretty sure, for a prolonged period of time cheating on me. One of the people he cheated on me with was a minor, and that was really traumatic for me because although it wasn't, I'm not going to get into details, but that was really traumatic for me because I think the person I knew would have never, ever, ever not only cheated, but especially gone there. So that for me was just like, wow, you really don't exist. Like the person I was in love with, I had to wake up one day and be like, I have no one to text. I have this love in my heart. I'm in love with the person. There's no destination. There's no way to reach them. They're dead. They're not here anymore. So that's how it correlates to the death of a loved one.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And how long it is tough because I think you get so used to having that person, and it's almost like that you need them to make you feel better, but they're also like
the poison, the cure. Although that song I wouldn't necessarily say is entirely about that, but like they're the double-edged sword. They're like the person who's causing the pain and the person who heals it. Oh, the poison and the cure. Yeah.
Oh, that's what that means.
That's what that means, but it's also not necessary. I don't want to say what that song is about because I don't want to reveal who that person is about or that song is about. But yeah, I think it's about a mix of two people at once.
A mix of two people. That and how long did it take you to kind of stop wanting to reach out or stop wanting to?
I didn't have wanting to reach out to a person who didn't exist. I mean, because I didn't have the urge to reach out to the actual person because they weren't them. Like that was a ghost. It's almost like you look at a wolf and its sheep's clothing is like ripped off of it. Why would I text the wolf? Like why would I reach out to the wolf? Because that's who they actually are. But how long did I wish I could actually reach the person? Like there's always that lingering sense for like months after, like a year after, where like you want the answers and you can never have them. You want the answers of like, who is this person? Who actually are you? And you can't get those. But that's honestly a huge thing, is realizing being able to find your peace and closure without the green light of another person, and deciding to take that step yourself and realizing I don't need the answers. I don't need another person to tell me when I can heal. I don't need to know this and that. I just know that I'm now the focus of my healing journey, and that was what was my closure for me.
And you're the one in charge of
100%. Or the breakup is what you're saying, or just in general?
No, in general, like you're the one in charge of like how you feel. And
yes,
I saw this quote the other day. My friend showed it to me. It said something like you get to determine how your experiences affect you. Now I just destroyed that quote. Whoever said that quote, by the way. I
totally understand exactly what you mean. I'm a huge believer of it, by the way. Huge believer.
And they were like, that's what self-authorship is about. It's the first time I heard what self-authorship was. It's like you have the ability, okay, something bad, you can't control everything that happens to you, something bad happens.
Yeah.
But you have the ability to decide like, hey, how is this going to affect me? Is it going to keep me in this pit where I'm constantly feeling terrible and ruminating, or is it like, hey, it is what it is, it happened, now I'm better off,
100%, and I think that relates to my experience, but from a certain angle. I wouldn't say that grief is exactly like that. I think grief is a specific type of pain where you can't brush it off or mindset your way out of a breakup or grief. I think the part though that you can is the anger. I don't believe that anger is ever 100% beneficial. I think anger is most of the time, if not all of the time, self-destructive, and I say that as a person who was so incredibly angry based on the betrayal trauma. I was so angry. How could you do this? Why would you do this? You lie, all these things, and that was what caused me to break out. I genuinely think my acne came from holding in all this anger, and it was just self-sabotage. It was me. I also heard this quote of someone saying that holding a grudge and wanting revenge is like a snake wrapping itself around a sword, trying to kill the sword and squeezing it, but then it just cuts the snake and it kills the snake.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's a revenge or holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. As much as I would have loved justice to come around for this person, I have so much trust in God that what happened to me, the pain that I experience, is nothing compared to the pain that's sitting in front of them at some point in their life, whether it's now, whether it's afterlife, whatever it is. I do believe that justice will come, and two, it's none of my business. It's none of my business to be worried about that. It's only my business to not burden myself by holding that anger above, like letting their actions inflict that anger out of me, you know.
You're really mature.
Thank you.
Like, it's rare to see somebody who like understands. Like, you would consider yourself an emotionally intelligent person, I'm assuming, right? You have to be
I wouldn't consider myself that way, but just because of how much I've decided to learn and had an open mind about things.
That's amazing. I'm
Thank
shocked.
you.
I wish I had, because even now sometimes I struggle with like, okay, like I need to do this or whatever it is, and you know,
Yeah.
even I don't like have that sort of emotional intelligence that I think you have.
Well, thank you so much for saying that, because that's like huge for you to even be able to say that you admire someone for something that
Yeah,
you might
that's
not
true.
like fully embody. Yeah.
I'm okay with glazing every now and again.
I really appreciate that.
You know, healthy glazes.
appreciate that.
People are afraid to compliment nowadays. I think it's nice. Like, that's like, life is not as serious as anybody
No.
makes it out to be. Like, there's some people I talk to, like, you know, the whole nonchalant nonsense that's kind of going around where it's like,
100%. Yeah.
I'm not really.
I don't like nonchalant. I like nonchalant energy in certain ways. Like, I think it's an energy type of thing. But I don't resonate with nonchalant people. I'm the most chalant person, bro. I'm gonna wear everything that for the most part. Like, I am very a chalant person.
What are you chalant about, though?
About the things I'm passionate about. Things very much matter to me. Nothing is just like ambiguous in life. I think either I don't care or I really care. Or, I mean, yeah, there are, yeah. And music, I'm not chalant at all. I'm obsessed with music and I'm in love with it. And I make it with my whole heart. People, I love very loudly. Like, when I love my friends, when I love my parents, like, my family, I just care so much, and I'm always going to be loud about that. And I'm never thinking, how is this being received? I don't care. I'm just going to be me.
About your music, you are going on tour with Bella K, right?
I am going on tour with Bella K.
How did that come about? Are you excited?
I'm so excited. She is someone who I love her. I love her music. She's so good. Yeah, I think that had been something that we were communicating about our teams, and it was just something in the working because we know how much our fan bases overlap and how, although our genres and our sounds are super unique and not, I wouldn't say they're entirely similar, I do think there are parts that connect, and especially through our fan base that I've seen a lot of my fans. I don't know if I have a fan that isn't like, I also like Bella K. You know, I think there's so much there to doing a supporting act and being an opener for someone that I have that type of like resonance with in their fan base. So yeah.
Your fan bases, by the way, I love you guys for the record. Your fan bases, if I like, for the videos that I do, where if you guys don't know this and you only know me from the interviews, I have a thing on social media where I listen to music, and if I miss a certain part of your song or even Bella K's song, they rip me apart.
And honestly, as they should, because a lot of the time you miss the chorus, which is literally the whole point of the song. Like, you better not miss the chorus. Yeah.
I think you commented one time and you're like,
did I?
Maybe. I might be. It was either you or Lissette Grace, I think, might have commented something like,
you did miss the chorus, I think, of her song. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and you
guys
guys
did Picking
are...
Petals and like right before. I will say, to be fair, the chorus in that song I don't think starts until like a minute, so it would kind of be impossible to listen to the beginning of it and then get to the chorus by the time like your video is over. But yeah, I feel that.
Are you and Lissette Grace, are you guys friends? How did you guys meet?
Online. Honestly, our fan bases connected us, which is so crazy. Like, shout out them. They, I think, through the grapevine, it would just be whether her name would be commented on my video or I'd get tagged in her videos, we'd get tagged in the same videos. We just found out about each other through that. And then, I don't know how, one of us reached out to the other. I think she was following me and I saw that. I was like, oh, and I DM'd her and I'm like, you're so good. And just congratulated her on her success. And then she did the same and then we met and it was awesome.
Do you have a person that your dream person to make a song with? Someone that you admire, someone that you really love?
Gosh, I don't know if I have a dream person to make a song with right now. I'm sure, I'm a very passionate person, so I'm sure that when the thought comes along, I'll be like, oh, I need to do a song with them. But I don't have a dream person right now to do a song with, but I definitely want to do a really meaningful collab in the future, because I think, for reference, Exile by Taylor Swift is a collab between her and Bon Iver, and I think it's one of the most amazing songs, and his part in it is so emotional, so I love a good collab.
Do you ever cry when you listen to music? Really?
It's probably only when I cry. I mean, I don't think I cry outside of music very often unless I'm like silently crying. Like, if I'm like holding back tears or like sitting somewhere or I'm overwhelmed or whatever, maybe I'll sit there and like have a straight face and like tears will kind of just like rise up in my eyes. But most of the time, if I'm actually having a full-on cry, it'll definitely be with music. It's rarely that I'm crying without music.
Are you super emotionally naturally? Like, would you say...
Don't worry, I know you're like walking on eggshells asking that. Don't worry. I'm not. What emotion? There's many emotions, right? Because like happiness, sadness, excitement, fear, anger, all of those are emotions. So I would say I am a very emotive person, but I'm also very level grounded. I think ever since I literally felt my prefrontal cortex, I can't say it's fully developed because I'm not like 26 or whenever it happens, but I did feel the shift in my brain when I felt my prefrontal cortex like take a step and develop, because what used to really, really stump me in life was when I would go through a phase of depression, I wouldn't be able to see the other side of it. I would think this is forever, this is never going to change, and then all of a sudden one day when I would start feeling that type of emotion, I had this ability to take a bird's eye view to it and realize this is right now, but there's the future and this isn't going to be forever. And I think because of that, just having that awareness now, it's really allowed me to level out and not have moments where I'm like fully up here, fully down here. I used to be very high and low, hot and cold, and now I'm very just like level ground, and I have emotions when they come, and when God gives me an opportunity to cry, I let myself cry, because I'm a huge non-believer of the fact that you should ever hold back emotion when it comes to tears and crying, because that's a natural medicine. Tears actually numb physical pain, and that's why when you cry you feel better afterwards. It's because you're never meant to hold back your tears. Men who hold back tears, like men are supposed to cry, women are supposed to cry, because God gives us that as an opportunity to literally not have to use drugs. Like, that's a drug. So I think, one, we should use a natural medicine that God gave us, and two, I don't know when it ever became a thing that it makes you weak, because what do you mean it makes you weak? Like, it's just being vulnerable. That's not weak. That's not weak. So
okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah, play devil's advocate. Go ahead.
What do you think about, because I think there is a bit of an issue for at least a guy to be overly emotional. I think I don't know, like there's like this the male archetype now, which is a lot more popular than it used to be, where it's like it's okay to cry every 5 seconds, like if the wrong thing happens, and like, oh, if you know I get cut off in traffic, I'm just gonna like be sad and upset about it, and it's gonna affect my entire day. But it's like it wasn't always like that, I don't think, you know.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't So do you think there's a problem in a man being a little bit too emotional like that, where he lets things...
I think that the way men usually show emotion, unfortunately, isn't... I think that would be I would actually love it if more men would turn to crying and tears versus anger, because I know that a lot of the nature interesting, and I think men and women are both very emotional individuals, but the way we express it is different, and that's just it's very, very true, because I think anger is an emotion, being aggressive stems from an emotion. So when a man yells, or when a man is angry, that's being very emotional, but I think underneath that is hurt. I think anger is a secondary emotion, meaning there needs to be an emotion underneath it, whether that's sadness, frustration, and through that, I think men should connect with what's underneath that and think, why am I angry right now? I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I'm fearful, I'm hurt. And that's where we're meant to feel those things. We are meant to. Emotions are a gift. They help us understand ourselves. But I do think that, not only do I rarely ever witness or see a man being too emotional in like a crying type of way, but I wouldn't say I would be a fan of that. Of course, if someone's like crying left and right over absolutely everything, I think that's a sign that there's something underneath that there is to work on. But overall, I can confidently say that I wish men would show tears more than they do.
Then it's the better alternative than like aggressive anger, you think? Yeah, I could agree with that. I think being able to channel it is probably like the best. Yes, because I don't like I think something that's very profound and something I really admire about men is that I've seen, and I actually like saw on a recent Love Island episode was, hear me out. Wow, the very profound.
It is very profound. It's reality TV though. It's reality TV meaning it's not fully authentic, but a lot of it is emotional and authentic to like human nature. And there was a person on it who, they were sad and they were like holding back their tears and like looking up and like trying not to cry, and like you could tell that he was like he was like trying to turn around, not cry. And I'm like, I love that. Like he has emotion, he's real, he's a human, and like maybe he's sitting there trying to be strong about it and not let himself cry, but I love that. I love the fact that like it was there. Like I just think that that's a beautiful thing. I think emotion, yes, there's a proper balance. Everything in life should be at a balance. Nothing good. Few good things
come.
Love? Love is also a balance, because love is the most balanced thing. Because love is like a state and a vibration that really you have to be super balanced for, because if not, you're going to be on the other end, you're going to be obsessed, and there's a very like specific frequency that you hit when it comes to love. And I think growing up I craved the passion and fire in love, and I think I went a little bit too far with that when I would look for relationships, and I would almost want a guy to be obsessed with me. But obsession is not a good thing, because obsession stems from insecurity and a lack of sense of self. So when we fully know and love ourselves, we don't have it in ourselves to attach and become obsessed with another person the way that we think is a compliment. It's actually not, and it's a red flag.
So you wouldn't want your guy to be obsessed with you?
No, I wouldn't say obsessed is the right word. I think what we mean when we say obsessed is probably different from like the actual bad meaning that it has. But I mean, for example, the movie Obsession, like you saw what it drove him to do, and
that was a crazy movie. You know the scariest part of that movie?
What?
It wasn't like the stuff that she did, is whenever she was sleeping, and then he had woken up and she was like...
And it was the other girl in her, her OG self.
Yeah, and he goes like, what's so hard about loving me? You remember that part?
So yes, I do. Why was that crazy to you?
It was like he knew that this girl was suffering, essentially, and she was trapped inside whatever weird thing that they had. But his first thing that he was questioning was like
himself.
exactly.
Exactly.
Which was pretty crazy.
I'm glad that you're thinking of that, because that's exactly what obsession is. It's self-centered, and it's rooted in how can this person serve me, and how can this person benefit me? What does this person make me feel? But it's never how am I making this person feel? And if it is how am I making this person feel, it's only because you're wanting to keep them in your life, or you're wanting to make an impression for them to then reciprocate it. That's why obsession is a scary thing, and that's why love does have to be a balance. As much as love can be passionate, it can be big, it can't be feeling driven, it has to, because that's obsession. I think when love is entirely feeling driven, that isn't love. Love is an action, and love is also a feeling.
Interesting. I've never heard love as an action before.
It definitely is, because if someone says I love you and then they go cheat on you, that isn't love, and that's portraying selfishness, and that's portraying a lack of love.
It's pretty crazy to think about. Like, I think sometimes, do you think it's because sometimes people get into the relationships for the wrong reasons, and that's why?
I think it's always because of that. I think it's because they're seeking something in a relationship that they have a void inside of them that a relationship can't fill.
Is there anything you think you're missing?
I definitely wouldn't say I'm perfect, if that's what the question is. I don't want to come off like that, but as far as missing, I do feel very whole. Like, I feel like I wake up every day and I'm like, I'm very whole. I love myself and I love who I am, but I don't know if I would never go to another person seeking something that I don't already have in myself. I make sure that I have all those things in myself, and I think that also helps put me in a position where when I am faced with a relationship, I won't be in it for the wrong reasons, and I won't be seeking something, because also, like you were saying earlier, it's really bad to want to put your eggs in another person's basket, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because when they're not there and they're not showing up, you'll drown. And I have a song about that I've been writing called Lifeguard, about how unfortunately it's hard for me to not like, the whole premise of the song is like, before you came into my life I could support myself, but now that you're here, now that I know you're my lifeguard, I can't swim without you anymore. And it's a form of attachment is what the song is referencing. But yeah.
And do you get easily attached?
I have
You don't have to even answer that.
I have a song called Black or White, which is basically talking about, Black or White is talking about how I either am head over heels for a person, and I don't like to say obsessed, but for the sake of like just showing how much I care, yes, a level of maybe obsessing, or a level of love. Whether it's love or obsession, I'm either all the way in or I'm all the way out, and I really find it hard for me to find that balance. I do find the love part hard. I think I have been in love, but I think the love in my relationship lasted for like a month. It was like building up there, love, and then it went to obsession, it went to attachment. And I will say that I get attached when the other person in the relationship and I are not meeting each other where we should be, and when we're not close to God and seeking our validation and source of fulfillment through that, that's when it won't work, and that's when I probably will become attached.
I see. I think I actually like, which by the way, I always do research before every interview.
Do you?
And research for you is actually super easy, because your Instagram is literally just like, it's literally just like the deepest stuff ever. So I was like, all right, this is amazing. And I think there was a quote that you said. I'm actually going to read it because I wrote it down for real. Let me read it for you.
Yeah.
Well, I have two.
Okay.
You said, I've never liked anyone a normal amount. I either need you with every bone in my body, or I'm completely fine if we never speak again.
Yeah. That's referencing my song Black or White, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, I just really find it hard to be in the middle for a person, and I find love really difficult. I find it really hard to be like, okay, I really care about this person, I feel a lot for them in my heart, but at the same time, I'm not thinking about when they're going to reply to me. I'm not worried about where they are, what they're doing. I know they love me. Like, it's so hard to find that balance. Like, love is rare.
Yeah. You don't get jealous? There it is.
Jealous? Well, no.
That's fine.
Jealous? No, when in the sense that no, but when a person, I get turned off if a person tries to make me jealous, because it's like, you have me right here. It's embarrassing that you are like trying to make me jealous with another person, and it shows that you're insecure because you're looking for something you can't give yourself. But But I mean, it's natural to think, like, yeah, if there are times when maybe, like, I would feel naturally humanly jealous if another person is, like, I don't know. It's been a long time, though. It's been a long time to assess myself in a relationship. Yeah.
It's okay to get, honestly, it's the most natural thing on earth to feel a little territorial and a little jealous, because, like, that's your person.
It is, but at the same time, I'm definitely not the kind of person that would ever be like, you can't do this. I'm the type of person, do whatever you want. And God will show me in a dream what you did if I'm supposed to see it, which is what he did. That's how I found out that I was being cheated on. Is like, I prayed.
In a dream?
I prayed to God and I said, remove this person from my life if they're not for me. And that night I had a dream about a blonde girl on his phone, number 2 in his best friends list. And I woke up and I remember thinking, he would never cheat. I'm not going to ask him about it. Like, who cares? He'd never do that. Later on in the day, I text my friend. I'm like, should I just ask him in case? And they're like, he's not going to be cheating, but just ask. And I FaceTimed him. I said, can you share your screen with me? And he said, no. And I knew. And then he ended up doing it because I basically said, show me or I'll break up with you. Because I had to see. I knew I was going to break up with him regardless, but I had to find out to give myself the closure. And yes, it was that. It was a blonde girl, number 2 in his best friends list. And that's how I found out. So I was literally revealed in a dream. And it's interesting because I had never had... It wasn't like a subconscious vision of mine where I had like been worrying about a blonde girl, because as far as I knew, he had only been with brunette people, so I didn't like have this insecurity or like worry that he would date a blonde girl. So I genuinely, that dream had no insecurity to stem from, or no place to stem from, or no real life experience to stem from. It literally stemmed from God giving me a vision. I'm so positive about that.
That's insane.
So I just trust, and I'm like, go wherever you want, do whatever you want, and God will show me if you're for me or not. And I'll get the feeling as a woman, I'll know with the intuition that I have.
That's that intuition. I think we were talking about that earlier. Like, women have the strongest intuition on planet Earth.
Yes, we do. And some men do as well, but with women, it's a different level of, like, given that we are the ones that give birth, I think that automatically almost makes us more of a
intuitive person?
Yeah, and it connects us more to, I think, the supernatural a little bit, maybe more than men. I think that some men are naturally intuitive and are more than others, but I do think women, for some reason, are just more. It's interesting.
It's probably like a protection mechanism.
Wow, almost. It probably is. I think it's I think God gifted women with that, because he knew that there's a lot of vulnerability that women can face, and with that extra skill set, I think it makes us more able to weed out. So
you guys have spidey senses. You have spidey senses, but it's good. I mean, I think I don't know how else it is to say. I mean, I think I don't know. Love, though, is interesting, though, because it's I don't think anyone really understands it. It's probably like the most misunderstood thing. And I was talking to my cousin about it yesterday, and I was like, you don't know, you can't predict when you're going to fall in love with someone, I feel like.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't predict it. And if you do, it's not going to be authentic because you were seeking something in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's what we were talking. Like, sometimes, like, someone could be perfect on paper. They're attractive. You love, like, they're your type, and they say the right things, and they have a good family, and all of these things check out. But then you actually be with them, and I don't think, like, sometimes there's an absence of that feeling.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I mean?
100%. That love isn't, that's the problem, and you can't pick certain parts of a person to keep and get rid of other ones. And I also have a song about that called Sold Separately. But it's like, you can't have this of a person and that of another person. It's like, unfortunately, and fortunately, because when it's right. But like, you can have all the things that are right on paper, but it is just a feeling thing. And a lot of the time people would ask me about my last relationship, and they'd be like, what did you see in this person if, like, they ended up doing what they did to you, and if their character wasn't right? And I'm like, sometimes it's an energy and aura thing, and also I'm picky with attraction. Like, I rarely feel anything but platonicness for men. So when I do, it's hard not to feel like, oh, there's something that I should be seeing there, because it's rare.
So what's your type?
What's my type? I see, it's hard to say, because I used to think I had a type. I think in general, I think I think in general, dark features, and like I'm not as much.
Okay, okay, so wait, as you can see, Hailey's not here in the car anymore. We had a technical difficulty. Literally the last 2 minutes of the interview, just the outro pretty much, the audio got corrupted somehow. But I had an insane God dang, bro, I can't even talk. I had an insane amount of fun with Hailey. It was such a fun interview. She's super sweet. It was the best. Let me actually FaceTime her. Let me do this. Let me FaceTime her and let her know that the audio got corrupted. Hold on. And I'm going to screen record it too, so that way you guys could see her reaction. Yo, what's up? How are you?
What's up? Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
Bad news.
Okay, bad news is the last 2 minutes of the interview, for some reason, the audio got corrupted. Fire. The good news is we could still do the outro now, I guess.
Sick, okay, bet.
But
Sure.
I want to see, do you have any remaining things that you want to talk about, or do you want to tell the world, or anything else on your mind?
It's hard to remember where we left off. Gosh, not that I can think of. Do you have any prompts?
No, I don't really think so. I just wanted to say, like, I just told the camera too, insanely fun interview. Like, I had so much fun, and
So fun.
you're the sweetest person ever, so I'm really happy we did it.
Thank you. That was so fun.
I
Yeah.
know. Okay,
I
so
loved it. Thank you so much for having me.
of course, anytime. Thank you guys for watching. As always, please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know who you want to see next. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Till next time, that's a wrap.
Bye.
Fire. Okay, that was sick. I think. Let me make sure though.